Hey, welcome back. Today we'll be talking about the part two of things that make marriage work. So if you've not checked the part one, go and watch the part one. This is the continuation of things that make marriage work. And today we'll be talking about love. You have to love one another for marriage to work. Love is unconditional. It's not attached to anything. When you love somebody, you will learn to give your all. You will have to do things effortlessly for that person. In sickness, you are there. You are not having conditions why you love that person. Some people love people because they are beautiful. What happens when they have accidents and that beauty is gone? Will you still be there? Oh, this guy is tall and handsome, and here comes things of this world that are inevitable sometimes, and the person is on wheelchair. Will you still be there? Are you still ready to live with this person with that condition that the person find his or herself? That's why you have to love. Love has no condition. So when you love somebody unconditionally, it helps you more to stay in marriage. It helps you more. It helps for the marriage to stay long because the love is not attached to anything. Are you there because the person have money? What happens when the money is gone? Trust me, things happen in this world because we are seen in this life, and life is full of ups and downs. So what happens when the downside of life happens? Will you still be there? So let's learn to love our neighbor as ourselves. As I said, if it happens to you, will you be happy the other person is leaving? No. You have to love with all your heart and don't pretend about it. Number two is always putting your family first. Putting your marriage first. When you have options to choose between stuff that comes up, do you consider your partner? Do you consider your family? Do you consider your marriage? Do you consider this person that you are married to? If I do this, how will this person feel? Some people give up so many things for their marriage to work. Yes, marriage is sacrifice. You should be ready to sacrifice. Put your family first. Put your marriage first. It's not just one-sided. I'm not talking to one person. I'm talking to both parties. Because if one person is sacrificing and the other person is not sacrificing, it won't work. So you have to balance everything in marriage. Marriage is not being selfish. Put your family first in everything you are doing. Let there be that consideration. Did somebody just walk up to you? Oh, you are having a social party in social place. Will you come this Saturday? And I say, oh yes, I'm going. You didn't even bother to ask your husband. Is there anything you want me to do on Saturday for you? Is there anything that is happening? There's no permission, there's no notice, there's no talking about it. You just said, okay, right there and there. Without talking to your spouse about it. You are not putting your family first. You are not being considerate either. So you have to learn to put your family first in every decision you are taking for the family or for the marriage to work. Number three is self-control. That is the key ingredient in marriage. Self-control. You have to control yourself in every aspect of life for your marriage to work. You have to control your taste. You have to control your anger. You have to control your what do I call it now? Your eyesight, because you see people that are more handsome than your husband. You see people that are more beautiful than your wife. What do? You need self-control. To stay in marriage, you need self-control. You need self-control to overlook every other person and stay with one person. It takes self-control and discipline. You need to have that self-control for you to see something that your partner don't have and you look away from it without you killing yourself to get it. Without you getting it at all costs, even to the detriment of your marriage. So you have to have self-discipline and control for your marriage to work. Another point is selflessness. Don't be selfish. Let it not be only about you. About you. It's when you are sick, everybody has to run enter scatter. Everybody has to run from pillar to post. Oh, this person is sick. Oh, we are running everywhere. But when the other person is sick, you should do the same thing. Are you there for that person? Don't be missing in action when it doesn't affect you. You have to be selfless. Don't be selfish. Marriage is selflessness. When you have selfishness, it's always about me, myself, and I. When you want to get this one myself, you are doing this one myself, you are going there myself. Everything they hear you say is I, me, myself, me. When it's always about you in marriage, it doesn't last long because we are all human beings. We all have feeling. Get to a point the other person won't take it anymore. So for your marriage to last long, you have to be selfless, which means you don't have to be selfish. Another point is openness. Are you open to one another? Are you always telling the truth? Do you speak the truth whenever you talk? Do your words bring that truthfulness? Because trust me, when you are lying, the other person knows you are lying. Even when the person pretends to keep quiet about it, doesn't mean that what you said is true. That person might know that you are lying, but decide to keep quiet about it. Let's learn to be open to one another. Don't hide stuff. Don't hide things from your husband or from your wife. Don't hide things from each other. Because when you hide things, it makes the other person to be suspicious about what you are doing. Even when you are hiding, what you are hiding is nothing. The person wants to know what you are hiding. Please, let's be open. I know some people will say, oh, some people have been open in marriage, it didn't work. Because the other person is not open to that's why it didn't work. So for what I'm saying in this particular teaching, it's for both of them. I'm not saying one person should be open and the other person should not be open. No, what I mean for marriage to work, I'm talking about the both of them. You have to be open. You have to say the truth. You have to say things the way they are. You have to make your life so open that you don't even worry, the other person don't even worry about anything because you know that, oh, this person is going to tell me what happened. Be open enough for your marriage to last long. Another very important point is integrity. This one is not everybody that have it too. Integrity is you telling the truth all the time. Integrity is you saying what you do and do what you say. It's not when you say good morning, they go and check time if it's afternoon. So for you to have integrity, it means you are a man of your words, a woman of your words. What you say is what you do. I know it's very difficult, but you can cultivate that habit. You can live that lifestyle for your marriage to work. So integrity, do what you say, do they match with your actions? Integrity is when your word matches your actions. That is integrity. The way you say it, that is how it is. There's no cutting corner. There's no going to say B and the person sees A. So you need integrity for your marriage to last long. Another point is care and attention. Do you give attention to matter in your marriage? Do you pay attention to those little things in marriage? Do you pay attention to those little conversations that you people are having? Do you pay attention? Do you even care? Just care. Show concern. Have that willingness to care and pay attention. Some people don't have that time. They're always in a hurry. There's no time for the marriage. There's no time for the children. There's no time for their husband. There's no time for their wife. When they close for work, they have something to watch, a TV program. When they finish watching that TV program, they have a newspaper to read. When they finish reading the newspaper, they have a friend to call, or they finish calling the friend. They have office work they didn't finish. If they don't do office work, or they have somebody they have to go and check. You are everywhere. You are not always paying attention. You don't have that time. You don't have that time to spend with your family. Even when you are in your house, your phone is in your hands. Please, I know we are in the time of social media. Don't let social media destroy your marriage. Don't let your phone. For me, I would say phone is a big distraction these days. Everybody is so present, but they are absent at the same time. Pay attention to little things. When your partner complains of some certain things, pay attention and try to work on them. Another point again is communication. For me, once communication is off, that marriage is already dead. Communication is very, very important. In fact, the importance of communication in a relationship cannot be overemphasized. So you can't tell me that, oh, my person love me, my spouse love me, we are friends, and you people don't communicate, or there's no communication there, or you are not willing to communicate when you have issues. You don't want to talk about anything. You don't want to bring up conversations. You don't say things. This communication is not there. This liveliness is not there. You don't want to talk about anything. You are keeping everything to yourself. You are bottling it up. This life, it's just this life that we are inside. We are not passing this life to another place. So after years, either you go to hell or you go to heaven. After this life, there's no another life. The life is too short for you to keep everything to yourself. For you to keep all your communication to yourself. You don't want to talk about anything. You don't want to tell your spouse anything. You don't want to talk about anything. You are what? You are keeping it. Depends your spouse did something wrong. You don't want to talk about it. I beg, I no fit tell them that they make it day like that. If you know fit say I make it live. Nobody is a mind reader. Please learn to say things from your mouth. Don't always assume the other person to know what you want to say. Don't only assume the other person to know that this is what you are supposed to say. This is how it's supposed to be. Without communication, nobody knows what to do. Tell your spouse what you want, how you feel, so that the marriage can work. I believe with this little point, we all will be able to sit back, check those things we are doing wrong. Check those things we have been doing that doesn't make any sense. Those things that we have been doing that are making our marriage to go down. Let's sit back, check ourselves, and try to make it work. And it's not easy. Even with all this teaching, it's not easy. But with the strength from God and enablement from God, I believe we'll be able to do better. And willingness from us can help us do better. Willingness to change can help us do better. With all this teaching, if we don't put in that effort, it will never work. That is marriage for you. If there's no that willingness is not there, trust me, it's not going to work. We can talk from now till next year. And if you are not willing to drop those attitudes that will not make it work, it can never work. You can decide to pray for 1,000 years. God is not going to come down to do those things we are supposed to do by ourselves. It can never work without putting effort, putting those effort that you need to put in. So please, let's work together in marriage. Let's try to make it work. Let's build marriage up. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but I believe the devil is trying to steal it away from us, bringing negative vibes into it. But we have to make it work ourselves, and with the help of God, I know everything will be fine. Subscribe, like my channel. See you in our next video. Bye-bye.